Hello and welcome to an episode of Battlefield 3, The More You Know. For those of you new to the series, it's basically where I pick a topic in Battlefield 3 and analyze it to help you guys become a better Battlefield 3 player. Today's topic is going to be attachments. I'm not covering the optics, I am covering specifically suppressor, heavy barrel, foregrip, flash suppressor, laser sight, and a deployed bipod. We all know what the guns do, but how are they affected by these attachments? There are a couple things you need to consider when you are picking the attachments for the gun to fit the playstyle you want. There are things such as aim down sight, bullet deviation, there's hip spread, and recoil. So let's start off first with the suppressor. The aim down sight bullet deviation with the suppressor is decreased a moderate amount. The hip spread is increased by a significant amount, almost double. The vertical recoil is decreased by a moderate amount as well. The horizontal recoil, the first bullet recoil, and recoil recovery are not changed when you are using a suppressor. There is also another big change. Bullet velocity and damage at range is decreased by a significant amount as well. One added benefit is you do not show up on the minimap. Next up is the heavy barrel. The aim down sight bullet deviation is decreased by a significant amount. The hip spread is increased by a moderate amount, as well as the vertical recoil. The other categories are not changed, and the bullet velocity and damage at range is increased by a very good amount as well. You will still show up on the minimap with this attachment. Next up is the foregrip. The aim down sight deviation is actually increased by a moderate amount, and the horizontal recoil is decreased. None of the other categories are affected by the foregrip. Flash suppressor increases your hip spread and greatly decreases your vertical recoil. Now, some people do not know this, but you will still show up on the minimap when using a flash suppressor. The only thing the flash suppressor does, in the sense of detection, is decrease your muzzle flare. Next up is the laser sight. This only does one thing and one thing only. Decrease your hip spread, and in most situations it decreases it by about half. Finally, a deployed bipod. This has very good benefits in many of the important categories when considering a gun. The aim down sight deviation is decreased by a very good amount. The hip spread when using the bipod is decreased by an even larger amount. Vertical recoil is almost none, and horizontal recoil is also decreased by a large amount. There are also some other things to note, and it depends on whether you're using a Bullpup weapon or a standard. When using a Bullpup weapon, such as the A91 versus the M4A1, the Bullpup weapons have a faster aim down sight movement speed. They also have a better hip spread. Now the M4A1 and other traditional weapons, their benefits are a faster reload time. Another thing to note with Bullpup weapons is sometimes you're not allowed to use a bipod on them. Another thing I'd like to talk about is some guns come with attachments like a foregrip or built-in suppressor. Now depending on the patch the developers are using, the game stats of the guns can reflect their attachments. A gun, for example, that comes with the foregrip is the QBZ-98B for the Engineer class. The AS-Val for the PDWs comes built in with a suppressor. Now another fun thing to note is sometimes you can mix and match some very unique attachments. The QBZ-98B, for example, can have a heavy barrel, a laser sight, and it's a bullpup weapon. So this can be a very unique weapon and can be very attractive for the battlefield. There's one attachment I did not cover, and that is the Underrail attachment. This used to have an effect when the game first came out, but now it no longer has an effect other than your grenade launcher will be attached to your gun, providing a faster switch time to your grenade launcher. So now you know your attachments, go out and field test them. So I hope this video helped you out. If you want to see more of my videos, check out the links and subscribe if you are not already. If you think others will benefit from watching this, send them the video link. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.